Welcome back to Tips Over Tea. This is Nicole. I am your host, and this is episode 12. I am so excited to share with you Rhonda's weight loss story of losing over 100 pounds. We also talked a little bit about how she got into gardening. So, if you're struggling with your weight loss and you want to learn more how she did her thing, or if you're looking to start gardening, you may want to make sure you grab your tea and listen in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 13 of Tips Over Tea. I am so excited to have this amazing woman here with me. Everyone, meet Rhonda. Rhonda, thank you so much for taking time out to hang out with us. I'm going to just jump right into it because, 30 minutes goes quick. And so please share with me and us, like your weight loss journey is amazing because it's not an easy feat anyway. But share like share all the stuff.
So, um, I first of all did not realize I was as big as I was.
Mhm.
And, I was not one who took lots of pictures because I knew I was a big girl and yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so I basically I knew that either I needed to change something or I was going to die.
Mhm.
And I kind of like life a little bit. So I decided that it was time for a change.
Mhm.
I was 55
Mhm.
and I wanted to be around.
Mhm.
So I did a drastic change. I changed everything about food and me.
Mhm.
I did organic when I could. I did no dairy, no pasta, no, I did low carb. Everything that I normally ate went away.
Mhm.
And I ate lots of green vegetables and I
Mhm.
hated vegetables. I would eat green beans and I would eat romaine lettuce, but that was about it. And very quickly I learned I was not going to be able to sustain that if I stayed with just romaine lettuce and green
Mhm.
beans.
Mhm.
So I started expanding what I ate.
Mhm.
And what I found out was I really did like green vegetables. And I
Mhm.
really did like the way that natural foods tasted. And I didn't miss the sugar.
Mhm.
That was huge for me, was not having sugar. I craved sugar. I craved carbs. Like I just that was my diet, and I had the carb base to show it. It was round and I let it go, and I thought, oh my God, I'll never be able to give up sugar.
Mhm.
I did.
I
I
told you you would.
I I think the hardest thing for me was I liked a little bit of coffee with my cream and sugar. That was the biggest thing to give up. And so I just stopped drinking coffee in the
Mhm.
morning. I
Mhm.
let it go.
Mhm.
I didn't even do sweeteners.
Mhm.
I just let all that sugar go. I let the carbs go. And I will tell you, um, I do miss carbs. I miss that's the one thing. And I have tried like the low, since I've been maintaining, I've tried like the low carb bread. I'd
Mhm.
rather go without bread. Really. I just rather not do the bread, but I do chaffles,
Mhm.
which are cheese. I have added cheese back in,
Mhm.
not milk per se, but I've added cheese
Mhm.
um, and egg, and that's my bread.
Mhm. Mhm.
I've been so much happier. Um, I can move around. I don't hurt when I get up.
Mhm.
Um, it's been amazing, and it's been life altering.
Yeah.
Beliefs.
Yeah. I'm honored to have been the catalyst, but I'm amazed at like we only worked together for 3 months. So
No, it can't be true. That cannot be true.
yeah, it was like at the most 4 months. Yeah. That's why I'm saying you don't give yourself enough credit.
Mind blown.
Yes. Yes, you did a lot. Um I
Well,
wanted to
I'm so grateful.
It's
Grateful. Look, and I know that I was like, yeah, no, this doesn't, because in my head always went up. Nope, I can't do that. I
yeah.
nope, can't do that. And what I found was I could do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have a tendency to forget that we decide on things all the time
yeah.
and do it. And so it just takes the decision and deciding who you want to be and how you want to feel. I will say some of the challenge is if you've never felt like really good, it's kind of hard to fathom it. But I I try to help find like a something else to focus on, if you can't like associate with that. But um I want to share, if you don't mind, share your progress pictures because it's just amazing. And while I do that, I wanted to ask when like once we were done working together, um, what was it that kept you motivated to keep going? Because um, you started off, top left corner is when we first started working together. And then your bottom right corner, this is you today. Like I wasn't there between some of those. So what kept you going without a coach? Was it some of the things that you learned, or was it what was it that kept you motivated? Because I know a lot of times people will do a program and they'll revert back to old habits because that's comfortable for them. Did you just create new habits that were you were making those more comfortable? What helped you keep going by yourself?
So I made choices.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, I mean, I remember when you said we're done, and I was like, wait, what do you mean we're done? What do you mean? Like I could in my head, I couldn't fathom that I was able to add stuff back in. Like my brain was like, well, no, we're not done. Like we still have a long ways to go. But I think the first thing that I added in was cheese.
Hmm.
Really miss a lot. I did not add sugar back in, which I thought was odd. Like now that I look at it, it's odd that I didn't add sugar back in. But I know I didn't add sugar back in because I know who I am and I know that sugar is it's a trigger for me.
Hmm.
I know me. It always has been.
Hmm.
And so I didn't add it in because I didn't want to go back to where I was.
Hmm.
So I made that conscious choice. Now, and I will tell you this: I never cheated except one time,
Hmm.
and that was I made my mother a smoothie, and
Hmm.
it got on my finger, and I went like this. That is the only time I ever cheated because I knew if I cheated a little, I would go off the rails. So I
Hmm.
chose not to. Um, I now do monk fruit.
Hmm.
I'll do strawberries. I'll do blueberries. Every once in a while, I will do a banana in my smoothie, but I do it in the morning
Hmm.
to make sure that, things don't spike. And I try very hard to eat seasonally. So now I'm eating cantaloupe
Hmm.
and I'm eating a little watermelon. And I'm actually growing both of those, all of them.
We have to
Um,
get to that next.
yeah. So, um, yeah, but what kept me motivated was I liked how I felt,
Hmm.
and I had not felt this good or looked like this since probably, well, let's see, in 2009, I had lost a lot of weight, but I gained it all back and
Hmm.
more, which
Hmm.
is why I was the size that I was.
Hmm.
But I didn't change anything. So
Hmm.
I had to change my attitude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I would say that's the biggest thing, right?
yeah,
Like to
yeah.
Mhm.
Change your attitude, change your mind.
Yeah, man. And change your body, change your health.
Change your body.
Yeah.
Look, I'm proof that you
Look
can
at
change your body.
you. I remember when you first started doing that, you're like and the collarbone and
Oh my gosh, yes. So yeah. Um, it used to do like this, and it doesn't as much, but this is like when I look in the mirror, I'm easily amused. But this right here
Mhm,
is my favorite thing in the world, that I have actual collarbones that I can see. And
mhm,
I will tell you something. Um, I was laying in bed one night and I kept feeling something on my chest, like under where my ribs were. And I'm
mhm.
like, what is that? Like, what is that? And then I realized it was my ribs. I had never felt my ribs before.
Wow.
When I had gotten, when I had gotten small, I was sitting down and my butt was hurting. Like I could feel my tailbone. And and I was like, I don't understand how skinny people do this. Like this hurts. Like I had never like things like that were so new to me. I was like a kid,
Yeah.
right? So I bought like one of the travel pillows,
Mhm.
the memory foam travel pillows, and I sit on it at work because my tailbone was hitting the chair and I couldn't sit long and I was doing all kinds of things. And so yeah, those are things that I have been enjoying: my ribs,
Yeah.
my hip bones, my
Collarbone.
clavicles,
Yeah.
and yeah, and my muscles.
Things so easily taken for granted if you've
Yeah,
not battled that. Like I
yeah.
that
And I did. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, that I was just agreeing with what you're saying. Like, I would have like I had body image issues, but it wasn't from weight. It was just a whole other mess of stuff in my head. So I
Right.
would have never thought about. I left my tea in the kitchen. Who does that? um,
And you show tips for tea with tea.
yes, I made it too. It is sitting in the kitchen. Um, silly. I'll enjoy it afterwards.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that's something I would have never thought about. So I love that you shared that, so that anybody who catches the replay or watches live, um, that's something they can look forward to. But something that is like, no, it's okay to if you're like, wait, what the world's going on with my body? It's kind of an exciting change, I imagine, also.
Yes, and I'll tell you something. Even after I lost weight, I didn't feel skinny.
Hmm.
But I was out with two friends who I consider very normal in size.
Hmm.
And we were walking from a restaurant,
Hmm.
and I happened to catch a glimpse of our shadows.
Hmm.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking. And I wasn't the big shadow. Like
Mm.
I was not the big shadow. We were all the same size. And
Wow.
I got so tickled. And then I was like, oh my God. And they were like, what? They thought something was wrong. And I was like, the shadow. And I was like, everybody stop. I have got to take a picture.
Yeah,
So I took a picture
yeah,
of our three shadows.
yeah.
And that was the first time that I realized I was not who I used to be. I was not the big girl anymore. I wasn't the big girl in the group.
That is that is for one, that is an absolute beautiful story. And I could see the goosebumps just rising because like one of the things I think I talked to you about, we hadn't gotten a chance to talk in depth about it, is when you go from where you were to where you are, what it has the mind caught up to that, right? You know,
And
like,
it had not.
mhm,
Even though I was my clothes, I was wearing, I had the, the little suspenders that you put on the back of sweaters.
mhm.
I had to put it on my belt loops to keep my pants up. Nobody knows about that. Well, now everybody knows about it. That's my secret, is to wearing my pants. Is I put that little hook on the side of it, and then I pull it all the way around as far as I can and keep my pants up.
Wow.
And then I just wear a long shirt.
Mhm.
And I was doing that, and even though I was doing that, it was not registering. I just assumed that my tummy was a little smaller, but I still felt very hippie
Yeah.
until I bought clothes. I had to buy clothes. And a friend of mine spoke to me about yoga pants. She was
Mhm,
like, when I walk, it keeps everything in place.
mhm,
And they're jiggly. I'm still very jiggly. So I bought 2 pair of yoga pants for walking so
mhm,
that I could keep things in place.
mhm,
Those are my now go-to because it keeps everything in place.
mhm.
And one of them was a button enhancing pair of yoga pants. I had a butt, and my mother will tell you she catches me in the mirror
Yeah.
squeezing my butt because my butt, I have a little bubble butt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when I don't squeeze my butt, it's a little. I still have to work on getting the nice little.
Yeah.
But those yoga pants give me a bubble butt.
I love it. Hey, that is a feel good moment. And it shows you what the potential is.
You can be in the mirror doing this.
I love it. That's funny. Oh my
Oh, and
goodness.
I didn't know. I didn't realize. I will tell you what I did not realize. I
Mhm.
did not realize my feet would get smaller.
Mm,
So none of my shoes fit either. So right now I have four contractor bags full of clothes that I can no longer wear
mhm,
at all. Shirts, I keep a few of the shirts, and I've got a few of the pants because I need some pants. But they're much smaller and they're kind of big, and I use the little
mhm.
finger thing. But shoes, I don't
Wow,
I don't have a whole lot of shoes anymore.
that's so interesting.
But I have learned from different groups
Mhm,
on Facebook that you find people who are doing the same thing that you're doing and are smaller than you now,
mhm,
get their clothes, trade with them their clothes,
mhm.
or you go to the thrift store
Yeah.
and get clothes there because you're in transition.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
still consider myself in transition.
Mhm.
I'm not done. I think I still need to lose about 100 pounds.
Okay.
That's me.
Sure.
But I also know, after talking with people and looking at sizes, 100 pounds, I'm going to look crazy.
Yeah, you will.
I'm going to look real crazy. And there's going to be this big head walking around with this little bitty body. I don't want that. I've seen that too many times. It's not pretty.
Yes, it's not.
But I
So,
would I would like to get into the wonders. The wonders, and the wonders is under in the hundreds, like
okay,
199. I'd like to get there in the
got
one.
you. Okay.
Even if I could just, get to 199.9, I can say I made it under.
That is a definite goal. You can do that. I know you can do that. Like
Yeah,
I said, you did most of this by yourself. Like it was only a couple months with me.
that's wow.
Yeah.
Me.
Right. Exactly. Um, so I know you're not a pro gardener, but there are people who are wanting to start gardening, me and one of them. And it just seems like so intimidating. Like it's a lot to think about and learn and things like that. But you just started doing it to see what happens. So
Yeah.
first of
So
all, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying what started that? When did you start and how's it going? And just all the things. Just share about the gardening experience.
So I everybody knows that, there are grocery stores that are considered whole paychecks. Like your entire paycheck can go for being organic and being healthy.
Mhm.
And I can't I can't raise a pig out in the backyard.
Yeah.
So what I can do is the green vegetables and the things that I eat that I want organic,
Mhm.
I can grow. And I don't know anything about gardening. I'm not a gardener. I'm a city girl. And I thought, well, the plants for the most part were $3.98. If they grow, yay. And if they don't, I haven't lost much.
Mhm.
So I spent maybe about $50 and I bought plants and I bought potting soil and I didn't want to dig in the ground or anything like that. So I had pots that I already had at home that my plants had died on, So I emptied those pots out and I put all of my stuff for the most part in containers.
Mhm.
And so I just bought stuff that I normally, or I will tell you, or I took things like romaine lettuce and celery, and when I chopped off the bottom, I stuck it in water.
Interesting.
That's it. Celery will grow if you chop the bottom off. When you chop the bottom
Yeah.
off of the stalk and you put it in water, it will start growing.
Who knew?
Same, I saw it on a YouTube video. Like, really, you can find anything on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing with romaine lettuce. You can do the exact same thing. I am seeding cantaloupe right now. I found a cantaloupe that was so sweet. I took all the seeds out, I laid them out on a napkin to dry them out,
Mhm.
and I'm starting them from seed. But I also bought seeds of cantaloupe, and I'll just grow them both.
Mhm.
I have strawberries
Yeah.
and blackberries, blueberries, romaine lettuce, cabbage, cucumbers, which is doing amazing right now,
Yeah.
um, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, 4 different types of tomatoes,
Wow.
jalapeno peppers, green pepper, summer squash, zucchini, acorn squash.
Wow.
Let's see, what else do I have out there? Watermelon and cantaloupe. And I think that, and a blueberry. Oh, and I just bought okra and sweet potato for my mother. I don't like sweet potato, but
You don't like sweet potatoes?
no. But I may like it if I grow it because it comes in a pack of 6. So
Mhm.
I'm going to have 6 plants that I'm probably going to have a lot of sweet potatoes.
Mhm.
I will probably be eating sweet potato in my salad.
Mhm. Look up sweet potato recipes. I'm sure there's some interesting ones that may give you a different taste perspective on them.
Yeah, yeah. I like them fried.
Mhm.
So,
Of
and
course.
I'll do the air fryer. I
Mhm.
like them fried, but or baked, looking like a French fry. Other
Mhm.
than that, I'm not a big sweet potato. I don't like the texture.
Mhm.
And then I have herbs, that basils and oregano and lavender and mint. And so I do all kinds of herbs.
Mm-hmm.
And really, honestly, I literally dug a hole, put some potting soil in, I think it's called 10 10 10 10
Mm-hmm.
fertilizer, a little bit in the ground, I mean in the hole, stuck the pot in and did the little bottom so that the roots would spread out, put
Mm-hmm.
them in the thing. And like my strawberries and most of the things, I put a layer of mulch on them. I got mulch at Walmart. I think it was $2.22. Put it on there so it would keep the moisture in. That's it.
That's interesting. I imagine you looked up how to do at least like those types of things, like how to.
Yeah, so yes, there's Facebook groups. Like I belong to Tidewater, because I'm down here in Tidewater,
Mm-hmm.
gardening, Virginia gardening, strawberry growers. Like, and my cabbage they're called cabbage worms, some kind of cabbage worm.
Uh-huh.
And I literally took a picture of what was eating, like the thing, and said, I don't know what it is. What is it? What do I do for it?
Yeah.
Put it in the group, and they are so helpful. People want to help you
Yeah.
with growing, and they will help you if they can. It's kind of like keto groups.
Yeah.
I belong to a bunch of keto groups just because
Mm-hmm.
they want to help,
Yeah.
and they will help.
Yeah.
So kind of nice.
That is nice because you can Google some things, but you can't Google may or may not be able to take your photo and tell you what you're looking at.
Yes.
So it's nice to have somebody who's been doing it and and can give you some like immediate feedback or whatever.
Yes, and it was immediate. I was like, I don't know what it is. What do I do? And it was immediate. Like they answered the question just like that. And there are all kinds of groups and people. There are even groups that you can. If you don't want to go out and buy a 6-pack of stuff, there are groups that will trade seeds with you, and they'll trade plants with you, if they have too much. Like I know I am going to have an abundance of tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 different plants.
I will come help take some off your hands.
There is no way I can eat, between my mother and I can
Yeah.
eat that many tomatoes.
Yeah.
And I have neighbors that I'm like, please take some tomatoes. Would you like some tomatoes? Oh, you like my tomatoes? Please, here, take some. Like romaine, here, please. Take 3 plants.
That's
I
so
have
cool.
more than enough.
That's a
You know?
good problem to have.
It is a fantastic problem to have. And I'm saving money because I'm not buying organic.
Because you're making organic.
Making organic. Now, if I could just get lemon and lime trees to stay alive, I would be so excited.
Yeah, I hear that. That's interesting. So I imagine because you're right by the water,
Yeah.
in Virginia Beach area. We're coming close on time, but do you have a lot of wildlife? Because like we have deer and fox and rabbits. Like, what do you do to protect your food from them eating it? I mean, like I love you guys, but I'm making this for me, not you.
So I was talking to my neighbor about this.
Mhm.
The dead leaves, or those that are kind of wilty, I will throw them in a pile in
Mhm.
the yard. Now, maybe it's not wise, but I throw it out there
Mhm.
because I know I have rabbits. I
Mhm.
know I have fox. There is a coyote.
Cool.
I have not seen any deer.
Okay.
Um, and I throw it out there because, first and foremost, I love animals.
Mhm.
And my thought is, if I give it to you, you're not going to eat the other stuff. It's right here. I'm saying, here, take this.
Mhm.
Eat this.
Some for you, some for me.
The other thing that I do is I put it in the containers.
Mhm.
They can't get up to the container. Now, the bugs can get to the containers
Sure.
and the ants, but they can't get to them. And there are, there's the tomatoes that are in the ground, they will eat them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I have more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't eat a little bit of every one and then none.
Yeah.
So I will talk to them and we will have conversations. I do not mind you eating what you need because I don't.
Yeah.
If I have to
Consider.
put
Mm-hmm.
it, I will, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So remember, all of us need to share.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing.
All right, we are at time. Rhonda, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, if you catch the replay, I will have in my YouTube channel, I'll have information for Rhonda, for you to contact Rhonda if you have any questions about anything we discussed today. And I appreciate you joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with anybody who could benefit from this. And we will see you next week. Ciao. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you got some really good nuggets out of this one. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and click the bell so that you can be notified next time we upload a new video or go live. I will see you the next time.